How are
Hi,
you?
how are you?
Can't complain. It's about to be Lollapalooza weekend in Chicago, so
Um,
yeah, the craziness is about to begin here. Hopefully,
yeah, Chicago. That's my first hometown.
yeah, that's what I say. That's where you were born, born, right? And then you
Yeah.
were raised.
Uh-huh.
Yep, yep. So good old Chicago. I'm right by like White Sox Park.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
Yeah, so I'm literally like 5 minutes out of downtown, 5 to 10 minutes out of downtown, and then
Oh, awesome.
yeah, I just moved back from LA actually right before quarantine because
Oh, how did you like LA?
I loved it. I'm not gonna lie. I loved it. I was in Koreatown, then I was in NoHo,
Okay.
and I just moved back because of quarantine. To be honest, like
Exactly. And then LA became so expensive over quarantine too. So it was, and everything shut down. So yeah,
yeah, like everything I could do what we're doing now. Like
exactly.
there was no reason really to, wait. So
Exactly.
I was like, I want to go back, but I'm just torn. I want to make it, maybe let it settle down a little more because like now it's surging again or whatever. So.
Oof,
Well,
it's for a minute.
right? Yeah. But we'll wait for Felicia to get in. Then I don't want to, because I
Oh,
want to ask you and then.
just unavailable right now.
Oh, is she?
I was
Oh, okay, cool.
So I was gonna, represent for the both of us in this one.
Perfect. Beautiful. Okay. I'm sorry. Fallon, I even had no idea. Okay.
Oh, so,
Well, well, no, first of all, I just want to tell you thank you so much. Um, I've been following you all since the first time when you premiered on The Bratz, I'm in Love with You.
oh my goodness.
Like, I remember seeing you first. I remember hearing the song first and I didn't know who you all were. And then I seen the video, and I was like, okay, there's Cherish. I was like,
No, thank you.
yeah, but
Beginning.
yeah, right. It's crazy. It's what 2003.
2000, yeah, 2003.
Yeah, yeah. I know I'm getting old. It's like crazy. Like
You.
I know I'm like born in '87. I'm like, oh, I hate to say it
Oh
anymore.
yes.
So, but first, I want to ask you, like that video alone, like that video just wasn't any normal video.
You talking about in love?
Like yeah, like that was like your first premiere video, like to
Uh,
introduce you to the world.
It was like that one, and then there was a video with that we did with Miss P, and I think we shot it in like the same week or
Did
something.
you shoot the same thing? That's awesome.
Sorry.
Deep.
I thought outside would be like adorable and cute, but now like bugs coming from square, and I don't even do. But yeah, so we did the Miss P video, and we did the In Love with You video. I want to say within the same like 2 weeks. So it was like Brad hopped on our song, and then we hopped on hers, and it was like a little quid pro quo, and we just made it happen.
Yeah, but like, and how was it though? Like, just because I know that whole, with the label, it didn't all work out perfectly. Because I remember the moment was going to come out, and I remember hearing the buzz
Like,
about it, and then yeah, I remember
yeah,
hearing it all, and then
I mean that was pretty much it's just certain situations in politics with like the record labels at the time. I think that was the moment where we were about to sign with Warner Brothers, or we did sign with Warner Brothers, and then we were kind of like JD was a huge part of that whole situation because JD was with Warner at the time as well, or they were working together as well. And then from there, I think I want to say that at that time in our career, I want to say it was just a little too early for what they were ready for Cherish. Um,
mm-hmm.
I with that situation, I think that it came to a point where we really just didn't have like the mutual agreements of certain things, and then we moved on to the next.
Yeah, definitely. And that's why it's so funny, like you bring up Miss P because that's how I remember you all. Your first single was
Right,
Miss P, and people are like, "No, it's Do It to It,"
right.
and I'm like, "No," I'm like,
It's not.
"Yeah, it was 3 years prior, but they did have a that's their first official single,
Yeah.
and it was like the funny thing, there was a buzz with that song
Yes, it was.
because that chorus was so catchy. You could call
Yeah.
me M.I. Cricket letter cricket. I mean, that was yeah, like it was such a catchy song.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I want to tell you, what are you going to do anything? Because this August 15th marks the 15th anniversary of Unappreciated.
You know what? The fact that you know that and I didn't so much, like that is incredible. And I want to say that I think that we should celebrate. My brother-in-law's birthday is like 2 days after that, so I want to say we'll just make it a whole little vibe. And
Okay. Yeah, like that has to happen because I was thinking about, I was like, hold on, it's 2021. I'm like, came out in 2006 and
that's incredible. To know that.
crazy.
That's amazing.
Yeah. But yeah, I wanted to ask you too because I first met you all. I don't know if you all remember this. The Teen People, I think, was Rockin' Shop Mall Tour.
I remember that.
And it was you all, it was Cherish, Mario Vasquez, Ashley Parker Angel, and Keisha
Mhm.
Shante.
Oh my God, you really remember it.
Yeah, like I remember because I went both nights,
Uh,
or both day. I forget what time it was. I mean, yeah, it was. I think it was more in the day, but I remember going both days and seeing you all perform and like getting to meet you all because I bought the CD. You all signed it, like
yeah.
all of that. But yeah, but how was that? Because it was like I know it was a small tour, but that's when like I feel. How could I say? That's the time when we got to meet artists because I feel like we didn't get to know artists like how we do now.
And not Instagram lives, which is a great way to see all of your fans, but like you actually got to be there and like hug and hold hands and like see it in action. So yeah, it was a huge part of the start of our career, was doing little press tours and meet and greets and all of that. I remember it specifically.
Yeah, it was crazy dope. Like I miss
It's a good
dumb days. Yeah, it just doesn't
yeah.
happen. But what how was it at that time? Because you got to experience the two shows that I feel every artist wanted to be on. TRL and 106 in Park. Like
it,
what was that like?
it was magical, and to just kind of be, the hindsight, just to kind of be a part of that era, I wouldn't trade it for anything. Whether it was of a large magnitude or just a small window that we had, it was so amazing to be a part of history, because that is a part of history.
Yeah.
I mean, even BT 106 in Park, it's not really happening the way it used to. MTV TRL and then like VH1 and like all of these different platforms that we shared a stage with all of these amazing artists like Britney Spears and NSYNC and Whitney Houston, like all of these amazing artists. It was incredible to just be a part of it and actually be a part of that era.
Yeah, it was super dope. Like it was. But what was one of your favorite, I guess, cuz that like between Unappreciated and The Truth, I mean, you didn't have a lot of time. Like, you were literally promoting, and then like Killa was released. Like, how was it that amount, like that year, basically probably the end of 2006 and 2007? Because I think Killa came out the end of 2007, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, you are spot on. I'm sorry, the question you said, how was it? Like that
Yeah,
experience?
like how was the chaos of recording an album plus promoting the previous album?
It was really good to carry the workload with my sisters because we made it a lot easier for each other. But like it was really hard because we were the only girl group at the time, if I'm not mistaken, that was writing all of our own music and recording ourselves, and just actually being hands on with it instead of having someone actually come in and do all of our music for us, and we just become a
Mhm.
brand. We wanted to be a part of that, so that really made the whole situation just a little bit more difficult. But we felt that that authenticity needed to be heard. And on top of that, with like doing all of these different press tours and going on tour, and having to show up for certain, now it would be Lollapalooza, or like it just being like do all of these shows in the midst of doing radio, because at the time there was a lot of radio interviews, and you had to show up in every single city before you even hit the stage, and you had to go to radio at 5:30 in the morning and meet with the program directors, and then you had to do all of these drops for these different radio stations, and then video and interviews, and it was the best chaos I've ever experienced.
That's awesome to know. That's awesome because I hear so many different stories from artists and they're like, oh, it was horrible. But it's awesome. It was like beautiful chaos for
It
you all.
was.
Yeah. And like, what did it feel too, like to be a part of? Because I feel Step Up 1 and 2 were kind of like the good step ups.
They were. They were the ones.
Like, they were the ones that mattered, I
Yeah,
feel. After that, it kind of,
you
you
know, it
know,
became like a brand, and like that's what we're doing.
yeah, yeah. But what did that feel like being like the first single off The Truth as well as like the major single off that? How was that feeling?
Honestly, I think that we didn't even like me and Felicia wrote the record. Felicia brought it to my attention with Don Vito, and she was just like, "We got to write this. Like, it's such a dope record." And I was like, "Okay, cool." So we went in the studio, we started writing and recording it, and then I want to say that we didn't know that it was going to be on the Step Up soundtrack, or it was going to be a part of the Step Up soundtrack. So we recorded the record, we did it, sent it to the label, and they loved it. And they was just like, "Oh, Step Up wants to make this a part of that." We was like, "Well, we love Step Up, the first one, so Step Up to the Streets." Like we was like, "That's what's up," you know. And then I think even in the same year or year after, we did it came in ATL, so we were getting
Hmm.
um, a lot of different sync placements with that record, as well as Due to It, because it was an entourage, um, and an actual sex scene, which was hilarious. So, it was so fun. And it was just interesting to just see at that time your music going to television. Like, okay, yeah, we're artists and we're musicians, but like Felicia and I, we do a lot of sync placements now, but like then being the artist, you're like, wow, this is really cool that all of your favorite TV shows or movies that they're singing your songs and music.
Yeah, it's super dope. Like, and the one thing I always want to ask you all, like the Truth album, was the inspiration, like, was it the Sin City type of vibe you were going for?
Honestly, that was really more of like a label visual as well. Our a really amazing friend, Ellie Mizet, she styled us in that, and she was incredible. She is incredible, and it really we really wasn't trying to go for the Sin City side, but when we saw it, we were like, "Oh, this is dope," and
Yeah,
kind of made sense with our brand, just like to kind of be that to be authentic and just show like black and white. This is us. This is who we are. This is the truth. You know.
yeah. It was so, like both your albums super dope bodies of work.
Thank you.
Yeah. But like how did it feel? Because I felt bad a lot of groups or even artists, period, in 2008, 2009, it's the whole social media came hardcore, as well as, you know, LimeWire and Napster and whatever, like illegal downloading, basically. And you had, you know, you still had the people that went to, like me, I went to my Tower Records or my Sam Goody, bought
Right.
my music, Virgin Megastore, and then you had people that just literally burned CDs because that's what
Yeah.
everyone was doing. I mean,
Transition, man.
yeah, how was that? Like, because you were right in the dead. I remember when that happened with music because I was crushed because I liked my physical copies of CDs. I liked looking at the production, who
Mhm.
wrote it, where did you record it, like all the good stuff. I feel if you're a hardcore music fan.
It really hit hard
Yeah,
because it's so crazy being like actually having music that was popular in that era, and then you can like I want to say maybe 4 or 5 years, actually not even that, like 3 or 4 years in
yeah,
between, it was this boom of technology and this boom of like, oh, wait a minute, we are not, CDs aren't even in existence anymore. It's just not even what we do. We're going on, and that then they had to figure out if like how the streaming services and how they were going to facilitate that, because record labels were going crazy for a while, trying to figure out how they were going to make money off of music now that everybody is illegal downloading, now that everybody can have access to whatever they want. And for us, it was crazy. It kind of sent us into this like rabbit hole of, okay, what do we do next? Um,
yeah,
what is the situation now? Because now it's not even about the biggest major labels. Now it's about major independents. Now it's about streaming it and doing it on your own. Now it's about the legwork of it, and that was a transition that we were not prepared for, but ultimately, made our way through.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, and one thing I love that you and Felicia did and I appreciate you so much for doing this for like just music. You all turned like you were known for like R&B, I guess, kind of pop, but mostly R&B. But when you did like the whole pop thing, I loved when you had what was it? You had Lights Out and Infected,
Yeah.
like two super dope songs. Like yeah,
Thank
and it was with the times. Like
you.
I like when people grow with the times because I get it. People miss like I'm sure a lot of fans wanted another Do It To It or another Killer, but it was cool to see that because at that time like EDM music was in hardcore. Like every what David Guetta and everyone
Yeah.
wanted to be on like David Guetta's on his albums basically because he was like the guy I feel at that time or Pitbull or Flow Rida.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. But how was that though? Just kind of getting to know different sides of music wise.
I mean, it's always been something. Felicia and I have been writing, and Farah as well. All of my sisters, really, but Felicia and I really honed in on it when we were like 12 years old. Like, we used to just be in our room and we used to write music all the time. And she'd be like, "What do you think of this?" And we bounced it off each other. "What do you think of that?" And then we met Manuel Seal, and he did like "Always Be My Baby" and "You Make Me Wanna" by Usher.
Tasha.
Really honed in on our skills, and he would just let us go in the studio, all four of us, and just let us do our thing. And he'd be like, "Well, okay, so if you guys want to do this." And we would just go make music. And whether it was good or not, he really just let us hone in on that. So we always applied that as we moved forward. Like when it came to our first album with Cherish, we wrote our whole first album. We wrote our whole second album. Dream did a little bit of work on the second album, but we
Hmm.
usually write all of our own music. So it was very important for us to make sure that that was something that we not necessarily known, but like we wanted our fans to know that it was genuine and authentic to us and our brand. But moving with that and moving with the times, it really is about studying, and it really is just the love of music, making
Yeah.
sure you know what's ahead, and being forward thinking, for lack of better words, forward thinking as to where that's going to go. And sometimes you don't even know where music is really going to go. You kind of have to guess, and that's the whole part of it being art, you know.
Yeah.
But we also knew how to take a step back and like, okay, well, these artists are looking for this, they're looking for that, they want the new age, blah blah blah. And we were able to just be like, okay, well, then we'll just hone in on the actual artists and see what we can come up with and keep moving when it came to our songwriting. So
Yeah.
it's been a whole journey.
Yeah, it's super dope. I love it. Like I love your all story. It's just super like inspiring because you always stood dedicated. Like you never gave up because everyone today, especially in this new age, everyone wants everything given. If it doesn't work in a week, oh, what's in? And it's like,
Exactly.
no,
Microwave society, for real.
it's horrible. Like people don't want to work for anything anymore, and it's like, yo, like just do it. You could get somewhere. It may take a while. Not gonna lie.
Put in work, put in
Yeah,
1,000 hours. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, but I want to ask you too. Like before even the encore, I know you and your sisters filmed the pilot because I remember seeing it on YouTube. How was that? Because it was it. I wanted to see it all.
No, crazy. Like when it comes, we actually are working on something. We have something that works for that as well. But it's crazy, kind of seeing like reality TV is a whole nother world. It's another world I wasn't even prepared for. And but at the same time, it's a lesson that I really just like. Oh, okay, I did that. Like that's something that I did. And when it came to like the pilot that you're talking about with my sisters, it is so much easier to be authentic with your sisters because or with your family because you can say
Hmm.
whatever you want because that's your family. They're gonna take offense to it. It's just gonna be what it is. So with moving with that, I do wish that that is the reality show that came first. So much more sense as to
Yes.
how Felicia are. In the ideal situation, but of course, God don't work like that.
Yeah. It's so funny, but yeah, it was. I hope, like you said, I hope there's something in the works because that was a dope, like little preview they showed, and you are all interesting and like you just don't hold back because, like you said, you are family. It's like, what do you have to hold back for? It's your what
Like
for? Yeah, it's like your mom, your dad,
I,
and you four.
I'm my most authentic person around my family. Like, this is what it is.
Yeah. Now I want to ask you too.
that authentic. And I think that's what kind of, comes off as, harsh or shrewd, is that I'm always going to be me no matter what. I can dish it in, I can take it. It's what it is.
There's nothing wrong with that either. Hey,
I mean,
yeah. But I want to ask you, when you were doing that pilot, was because I loved Going in Circles was
wow.
super dope.
Yeah, I love that.
Like such a dope song.
It's so crazy when you write all of this different music and like our fans literally come on our page and be like, what about this song? What about that song? I'm like, oh my God, you remember that song. It is the most
Yeah.
feeling for, people that just come to find you just to ask you that.
Yeah, like it was such a dope. I feel like that song didn't get
Like
the
now, somebody said, what happened to Vodka Tonic Dreams? It's Felicia gonna have to talk to y'all. Great record. It's a great record. But I love it.
Yeah, but was that like when you did do Going in Circles, was that a song that was going to be part of like the pilot, or was that just like possibly joining again?
No, Felicia and I and Chris Beats, who did Easy with me, we did that song and we loved it so much. He was like, we got to put it out. We wanted it to be a part of like a series, but we kept getting sidelined with a lot of different work because at that time we weren't making money like we were making.
Yeah,
It was like, okay, well, I need to take this or I need to take that. Do I do a whole body of work for myself or can I give somebody that's on a label a body of work and make this money real quick? And it was at that point it was really more executive decisions as to if what we were going to do as far as Fallon and Felicia or even Cherish. And ultimately we had to kind of take a step back to get to the money.
yeah.
And Going in Circles was supposed to be a part of an entire series or a body of work, but it didn't end up being that way.
Dang, see, I can't imagine what your vault is like.
It's a
Like, I could only imagine. Like, I talked to so many, I know so many artists and, famous singers and musicians, and just like, dang, the vault, and they'll send me some tracks, and I'm like, dang, it'll just stay in my notes forever, and I
yeah,
can never,
hopefully the world can hear all of them, but
right?
it's up here.
Yeah. But like you said, you took a break from actually being in front of the screen and doing music and like you said, songwriting. What what was that like? Because I never knew growing up that songwriting was such like that's where you get paid. Like you get checks to the day
That's
you die.
hey, you get paid.
Paid. But
So
like what how was that getting your first big like check from that? Like what did it feel like? Because I know like you said, it's not like just overnight you get a song credited. You may submit 50 songs to Chris Brown and he may choose maybe one, if even one. Like, for example, how was it for you?
it felt like an accomplishment. It felt like all of the hard work really paid off. Like even if it was the smallest placement, even if it was like a sync placement in a commercial or, a small little window, you just like, I did that. Like somebody loved my work enough to put it in a movie, or they loved my
Yeah,
put it on their major artists. It's one of the best feelings ever because it feels like an accomplishment of your artist, like selling a huge piece of art and you like somebody really liked that work, this abstract work of mine, and wanted to put it on display. So I can't even explain the feeling. I mean, I'm sure that many to come Grammys and all of that'll be even larger feeling, but every day is a win. And
yeah.
me and Felicia, we take it in stride, and we just make sure that we're better than the next song, and we're better than we can become better than what we are.
So it's so dope. And I love that you are so like versatile with the songwriting. Like, because so many songwriters stick to just one genre or one type of sound and use make whatever comes to you and just like, hey, if it works for this,
I think in order to make great music, it has to be genreless off jump. If it ends up being in a genre or category, that's up to interpretation. So I do think that off jump, it definitely needs to be genreless because you can feel however you want to feel without putting it in a category and thinking that that's what's going to work. So I think Felicia and I, we really try to make that a big part of our music for it to be a little different. Is that okay? This could feel like a pop song. This could feel like R&B. This could feel like rock. but why do I feel all of the feels? You know,
Yeah.
and that's where we really wanted to, make our mark.
Yeah, yous are doing it. Like, and that's what I want to ask you. Like, BET presents the Encore. Before the show was even announced, I remember there was a pilot like years ago before BET picked it up that was shot. And I thought to myself when I heard about the lineup, I was like, dang, I'm surprised Felicia and Fallon are doing it because you both, I'm a music head, so I know yous are huge. Like, you, I mean, you two are the most relevant, meaning like status wise with in today's music. It's not no hate. It's just what it is. Like it is. So I was nervous. I was like, dang, they're gonna put themselves out there for
Exactly what ultimately what happened. And like I said, reality TV is a whole other world that sometimes like you don't even know what you're getting yourself into, only because you really don't know what you're getting yourself into. But at the same time, it Felicia and I, we learned a lot from it because we really recognized that no matter what, we're going to be ourselves, and whatever that looks like is whatever that looks like. At the same time, we really, learned that, there's not everything you can say. There's not everything that you can do because people are different and people are gonna judge you even though they don't know you. Um, and and nobody's perfect. Like, and ultimately, you end up judging them, and it is what it is. It's the circle of life. It's what it is. But it caught us completely off guard. Um, we had no idea what to expect coming into it. We had no idea who the girls are. We had no idea what the whole situation was going to be. We didn't know that we had to make a record in 30 days. We didn't know that we had to,
dang,
be in this, we didn't know that there were vocal coaches and choreography, like things that were just kind of happening in the moment that gives you a lot of anxiety. Like, wait,
yeah,
what is this is coming from right, this is coming from left, what the hell is going on? And then of course all of the different ladies having different expectations coming into it. You're gonna clash, like, even though
it's bound to.
it's bound to happen that you're gonna clash, and honestly, I really went into it like, okay, now that I know what it is, now I got all of the information. Then I gotta fucking be myself, because if I don't, people are gonna see that it's inauthentic. People are gonna see that I'm trying to fake it till I make it, and I'm not. That's just not who I am. If you consider me whatever you want to consider me, that's your opinion. Everybody got one, and I think that what we accomplish on this show is showing our work ethic, is showing that our talent is something that was needed in this house. And it also showed us, it also didn't show what it was supposed to show, and I'm okay.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I'm okay with that is because, like, okay, it's reality TV. We are allowing these people to come. We're coming into your homes, on your TV, on sitting on your couch, and we're giving you this platform of trying to get to know people you really don't know at all.
Yeah,
And ultimately, people are going to judge that. And we were ready for that. That's something that I've always been ready for. To the extent, not so sure, but it's Felicia and I, we have such thick skin that it's just like, okay, we do this, this is a play, keep it moving. It is what it is. So I do think that I don't regret anything, only in the sense that if this happened all over again, I'd probably do the same thing. And
yeah,
I would be unapologetic about it, just as I am now.
yeah. And that's one thing I knew you both were not faking it because when you actually both fought on the show, I was like, okay, no sisters would be fighting each other if it wasn't real. Like
Right?
you were literally fighting. Like you were not feeling each other at one moment.
Yeah,
Like that's how I knew. I was like, yo, they're just really passionate. This is their life. Like this is
that's
what they do. Like this is the point of the show. Like to make an album or an EP, whatever, do a performance. Like it makes complete sense. And you all knew how to do all the different steps.
it.
Like,
And that's the thing. Like, everybody, like, people be thinking like, oh, you came out here to do reality TV. I'm like, you don't know me. My friends know me, my family. I'm literally the same person in real life. And if people don't like it, that's okay. Everybody don't like everybody. That is fine with me. But I do think that our core fans and the people that really relate to us, they understood. They understood the
yeah,
Simon.
Yeah, exactly. And that's how I seen it as. Like, I get it. It's television and they want drama and, the editing. I'm sure I give you all a lot of credit because I know that editing is brutal
Yeah,
and
we just had a lot of work to do. People don't understand. Like when you're under a microscope and you're under stress and you're under pressure, I don't have time to. I don't have time to sugarcoat. Like this is actual. This is work. Yeah, like I said, if you were a lawyer, or if you were a doctor, and you have to do a procedure, and you have to do that in 30 minutes instead of 2 hours, you or 6 hours, you're gonna be stressed out, and you're gonna be like, look, the best possible outcome needs to happen, or this patient's gonna die.
yeah,
And for it to be for that analogy, but at the same time, that's how passionate Felicia and I look at our work. It's like, okay, well, if this is going to come out in 30 days, 28 days, really, this is going to come out in that amount of time, it's got to be the right body of work. And I need everybody to kind of have some self-awareness as to how we're going to get this done. And I do want to say that that wasn't so prevalent in some people.
yeah, exactly. But I wanted to ask you, I spoke to Shamari last week and she told me the best cooks in the house were you and Felicia. She said y'all threw down, y'all cooked like the best. Like, what did y'all cook?
I cook everything. Honestly, Shamari is vegan. So I never really made vegan food while I was in the house. But when I was in the house, she kept buying all this vegan food. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna cook this vegan food like I would cook regular food, And
Uh-huh.
it was delicious. I don't even know how I did it because I was like, damn, this is all right. Like I mean, we made everything from steaks to like I made like linguine and pasta and gnocchi. I made like risotto, chicken,
Ooh.
and like everything, salads. It was really good. That whole scene when we're sitting around the table and like the Do the Record uh, episode, I made all of that food, and I was
Dang.
here, and I'm like, this is disrespectful. Like, thank you. Nope. This and I was like, I didn't slaved around this kitchen. I don't even do this for my ghost of a man. I'm just no, but it was interesting.
Yeah, that's super dope because, like you said, they don't show that. Like, yeah, you're all fighting around the table, but you threw down in the kitchen.
Nothing leading up to it. We was having such a good little sisterhood vibing. We were playing music. We was having a good time. It was great. And nope, you don't see that.
No,
You don't see that.
I want to ask you though, what would be like one or two scenes that you wish would have been shown so far? Because I know we don't know what, I think it's one or two episodes left tonight and I think next week.
Yeah.
Um, but what do you wish that would have been seen? Maybe something important that stood out to you.
Well, one of the scenes is when we were on the studio, we actually split up into groups where we all were like, kind of like made records. So like me, Misha, um, Keely, and Irish. We all made like we all like I was writing with them and I was helping like Irish come up with stuff like to write and Keely was helping and we came up with like this dope hook to record and like we were working together and Felicia was doing the same thing in the other room with Nivea and Pam and like all of them. It was like three different groups that we split up into and that was a moment. It was a moment where it kind of showed like okay everybody's working together. This is sisterhood. Like we're making this happen but obviously, like I said, that's the best outcome. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm in the house, whether people can agree with it or not, or think it's true or not. We were not going crazy over each other. We were not freaking out or just arguing all the time. We actually had girl moments. We talked about our girl groups. We talked about, you know, cultural appropriation. We talked about being black women in this industry. We talked about what happened in the past, big major record labels. We had conversations that were conversations. And, like I said, it's great show for what they, want to show. And but you can't cram in 30 days of work into 10 episodes. It's just not possible.
yeah. I really wish it would have been longer, just like knowing because, like you said, it could have showed drama, but plus the positive as well in each one, just to
Hmm.
give some diversity. Because I mean, but like you said, I get reality TV. I know you kind of all know what you're going to sign up for, unfortunately, and it's a lot of personalities
Yeah.
and these are all part of like different legendary girl groups
Yeah.
in different times. Like I remember being a kid and knowing Total. Like those were
Exactly.
my first single cassettes.
Yeah.
And then, you
Are
were
all,
one of the last groups and buy my CDs.
yeah. All legendary groups and respected too. And I think that that's kind of what people get lost in the sauce when it comes to me and Felicia. Sorry, the sun is beaming down.
Yeah.
Is that it wasn't about the lack of what they think lack of a respect. It was about the work ethic coming into this, knowing and being prepared and ready for it, because everybody knows in the music industry that's how you got to be who you were in the first place, is when preparedness meets opportunity. And so it was just kind of a situation where we all just had different ways of expressing what that looked like. Some of the women, which Felicia and I maybe have been ignorant to, were just wanting to start over and wanting to become a part of something bigger because they needed to start over. And Felicia and I was coming in like, oh, all of these legends, we coming in to make some music. Let's do this shit, you know? And
Yeah.
we came in. And then when we realized that that's not what it was, that's when, okay, a shift kind of really occurred, you know?
Yeah. It's just so crazy because I'm not going to lie. Bird's Eye View and Skeletons, like, I can't, those need to be on iTunes ASAP. They need to hurry up and put them out.
About it.
Yeah, because I mean the music. I can't wait to see the performance. I know the final performance. Like, what? How was it though? Like you said, we didn't get to see. We got to see a lot of the drama. Like you said, we didn't get to see the sisterhood of building these songs, seeing you create the tracks from start to finish. Yeah, it's not all peaches and cream, but there was a lot of good in it too. How
Right.
was it though, creating each song with the ladies?
I mean, I think it was great. I think that a lot of the girls, or a lot of the women, uh, came into this not necessarily knowing anything about me and Felicia, not knowing that we have been in the industry. We never stopped being in the industry.
Yep.
We have all of these different situations that with even with Coast and Elijah and everybody that was there. We didn't even know that they were going to be on the show, and we happened to work with them all the time back here in LA. And it was just a lot of things that every single girl was caught off guard for. So of course, there's going to be some drama,
Yeah.
because nobody knows nothing, and
No.
that's the whole point and the element of surprise. But nobody knew anything, and that all of these personalities came into play, and then there was or work ethic or lack thereof, and then there was situations where you're in these close quarters with women. Let me tell you something. I have not lived with a woman or anybody, and I want to say 8 to 10 years. Okay, it
It's
was
a lot.
dealing with 9 women, let alone and a whole crew of people in and out, in and out, in and out, and all these cameras and all this craziness and coming off of the post COVID pandemic, coming off of, Felicia being engaged and just like all of these different situations that occur, and you just like, all right, freaking out, you know, let me, let me get my ducks in a row. But it was, like I said, the experience I won't change for the world.
Yeah.
Learned so much. I appreciate so much, from what this has taught me. And
Yeah.
tonight there's another episode. So
Right? Well, yeah, that's the funny thing, though, you just said. A lot of people didn't know. Like, I'm reading comments, and I'm like, y'all don't even know. Like, I knew you and Felicia have worked with Cosign and Elijah. You have worked not just one time. Like, y'all are friends. Y'all are like brothers and sisters. Like, y'all work together,
yeah,
and you may have disagreements. And they didn't, like, everyone between the ladies, as well as not all the ladies, but some of the ladies, as well as just the public commenting. I'm like, y'all have no idea. If you follow them on social media,
right,
you would know that they're friends. Like you would see them, I would see you randomly like commenting each other's stuff. Like it
right.
was like a brother sister vibe. It wasn't like
That's what it's always been. And like I said, no one else, like if people don't know you, they're gonna judge you. And that's okay with me. That this is the industry that we signed up for. That's why it's not saying that I'm unbothered, but I understand. And it was a lot of drama, but it was a lot of work that was being done.
yeah,
And there was had to be drama because of the work. And unfortunately, y'all saw the drama more than you saw the work. And I apologize for that. But at the same time, it's reality TV. You're watching for specific reasons, and one of those, or probably 75% of that, is drama. And we gave you that, I guess. And I'm sure you're not disappointed.
No, it was all in fun, and it was good to see you all like together because, like, to be honest, the only person I've seen on reality TV because groups didn't do interviews and we didn't get to know you all when you were in groups.
Mm-hmm.
The only ones we knew was Danny Kane from Making the Band reality show, and Shamari did Real Housewives of Atlanta one. You know what I'm saying? Like everyone else, we just knew you all as Cherish. We knew Total is Total, 702 is 702.
Right.
Like we didn't know your personalities or it's like fun to get to know you all in that way, but we didn't get to know you. It wasn't a thing back at that time. You just did the music. You
Right.
went on tour, like you said, you did press runs, and that's it.
And everybody's not gonna, nobody, everybody does not get that. It takes time for people to recognize and understand who you are. It's not gonna take one situation like a reality show. It's gonna take time for all of the women on the show as well, because nobody's seen us outside of the music part, and people tend to think that they know you from that, and then when they see something else, they like, oh, this is crazy. And you're just like, but you didn't know me before. You just heard my music and you listen to my music, which is great. But now we're letting you into something special because nobody really puts themselves out there like that. You can be a random person sit in Utah, and nobody's going to know your personality. Nobody's going to know who you are. And then people can assume it however they want, but they don't see it. So the fact that
Mm-hmm.
all of these women, all of us on the show are putting ourselves out there for you to see, that is something special to do. And I commend everybody in reality TV, with the right reality TV, that are trying to speak their truth and people don't understand it. You'll get there and it'll happen. It doesn't happen overnight. It is what it is. Take it,
Yeah,
don't take it to heart, and just be who the hell you want to be and actually are.
exactly. Well, no, I want to do a quick game. I did this with Shamari too. So it's just ladies of the Encore.
Okay.
So just tell me which girl describes. So who was the party girl?
Nivea.
Nivea? Okay. Who was the biggest lush?
Lush.
Yeah.
That's a tie.
That,
I don't know. I wasn't really in people's drinks like that, but I want to say that every time I saw somebody holding a drink, it was Irish. She held the drink a lot. I mean, if you, I don't know what was in it. I don't want to assume, but she held a lot, even more than Keely. They showed Keely a lot holding her alcohol, but even more than Keely, I want to say. So,
okay. Who is going to be your friend after the show?
who is gonna be my friend? Who is
Well,
my friend?
who is? Oh, yeah, who is? I'm sorry. Yeah, because the show was done. I'm sorry.
No, it's business and work as well. I get along very well. Me, Felicia, and Keely are really good friends. We talk a lot, probably because we're the three misfits that don't make a deal. But at the time, I really with a lot of the girls. Like I talk to Shamari every now and then. She lives in Atlanta, so we don't really see each other like that. I obviously all of the other girls, we all kind of do our own thing. We'll text or say certain things, but I mean, uh, that's it.
Yeah. Who would you say was the biggest workaholic?
For me and Felicia.
You and Felicia? Okay. Dope. Who would you say got jealous the easiest?
Misha.
Misha? Okay. Most friendly?
Nivea.
Nivea? Okay. Who was the biggest snacker in the house?
Biggest snacker. Probably Nivea, I think.
Nivea? Okay. Who lied the most? Because that's the other thing we didn't see.
Who lied the most? I wouldn't necessarily call anybody a liar. I don't know. I
No?
don't.
Okay. Who was the first one up?
The first one up,
Mm-hmm.
like there.
You're like just up like super
Oh,
early, like
up morning, Pam.
Pam? Okay. Who was um who was the biggest goofball, I guess, would you say?
Nivea. Me and Nivea.
Nivea? Okay. You and Nivea? Okay.
Yeah.
Who loved the cameras?
Who loved the cameras? I guess it depends in what way. I don't think any of us liked it. We were annoyed.
We
Most,
were-
all of us were annoyed by the cameras.
and then I know a lot of people want to know this one because it was such a big thing. Who was the most manipulative, you think?
Most manipulative. I mean, I would say if you're coming from a reality standpoint, Aubrey, because
Okay.
what she knows what she's doing, and I wouldn't even say manipulative. I would say calculated.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, that's
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Dope, dope. Well, no, my final two questions, because I know you're a busy person.
I'm sorry.
Um, you know, with Blueprint, we're about to see more and more at Blueprint. Do you like if there was a tour or something in the works, would you be down for it? Would you wanna continue with the ladies to make something out of it if it,
Oh,
if it did blow up?
I mean, because the show isn't over, I'm just gonna say stay tuned. Maybe you'll find
Okay.
out because of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I like that. I like that. Yeah, y'all are killing it. Like I can't wait to see tonight and the finale. Like, and I wish there was a reunion, but I heard it's not happening. But
I mean, we don't know.
yeah, wishful thinking on all of us for everyone because I think it needs to be done just because there's so many unanswered
Right,
questions with
right.
Aubrey leaving and then Nivea leaving and I think a
A lot
couple
of
more people leave. Yeah,
a lot.
but exactly too much that we don't really know.
Right.
Or like or they need to show a like bonus episode with all
I'm sure that.
on
Oh,
yeah, yeah,
no.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
But final question: would you do a season two if it was for
I have no.
Blueprint?
It'll have to be the right. It'll have to be the right terms. It'll have to be the right situation. It'll have to be just some. I don't know. We'll
You
see.
know?
We'll see.
Okay, okay. And then last question: what's coming up for you and Felicia? Well, you solo as well as you and Felicia as well as Cherish. What's the
Oh,
future hold?
so many things in the works. We're working on a reality show for our family. We're working on a show that me and Felicia are a scripted television show. We're also working on an album. We have a lot of different artists that we're working on. That music is coming out. So this, especially by the end of this year or the rest of this year, it's gonna be a lot of things that we're working on. So just follow us, and if you want to keep up and stay updated, there it is.
No, well, Fallon, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Like, huge fan. It's dope to talk to you. And, just because I know it's craziness, but it's dope just to hear from the person themselves. And like you said, it's reality TV. And I always been a fan of you
Thank
all, like, from day one till still now. Huge fan. But, hopefully get to see you in the future, meet you again in the future.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm sure this will be one of many.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
But, stay safe,
Thank
stay healthy.
you.
And, yeah, and tonight, everyone, the encore.
Watch the encore.
Yes. Appreciate you. I appreciate it.
Talk to you soon.
Okay, peace.